So today I interviewed the writer and director of Susan the Goth Girl, a short film that I was in last year, alongside the stars of the film, Jason and Liv, and that's pretty much it. This is the interview. So please enjoy, and go support everything in the description. There will be links to Instagram and production companies and stuff like that. So just go down there, make sure that you show them some love because they're genuinely really nice people. And yeah, enjoy. Deuces. Is everyone ready and cool with what's about to happen?
Yeah, yeah, I'm
cool.
okay.
Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, ready.
Sick. All right. Sick. Cool. So if you could just describe who and what you are to this whole project, just introduce yourself, basically.
Hi, my name's Elliot Gormley. I'm director, producer, and the writer of the film of Susan the Goth Girl.
Hi, I'm Liv. I'm Susan in Susan the Goth Girl.
Jason, I think you know the drill at this point.
Yes, I am Jason, and I play. Oh my God, it's Tony, isn't it?
Trevor.
Trevor.
Oh.
Trevor. Oh my God, that's so bad. That's
Oh
so
my
bad.
goodness.
Sorry,
Gracious.
I'm gonna do that again. Edit that
Yeah.
part out, right?
Cut.
We cut that.
Pretend
Cut
it
that.
doesn't exist.
And it's like you've just said it to me for the first time.
Mhm.
And I'm Jason, and I play. I'm Jason Farries, and I play Trevor in Susan the Goth Girl.
Perfect. Sweet. Awesome sauce. Quick, simple, and effective. Elliot, back to you. How would you describe the film just as a whole?
Well, I think the film itself has a very important message. I think it's very light, but in a very dramatic tone in some sort of way, because the whole reason is I wanted to make it into a comedy drama, which is why it's filmed in a very good daylight and it's all dramatic at the same time. That's how I describe it, as a comedy drama, and I think it has a really important message, not just about bullying and stereotyping towards goth people. It's also about any individual who feels lonely or who feels different from society. That's technically the whole point of the whole film. It's not just about goths, it could be anyone in life.
When you wanted to make a film that kind of has a bigger audience than just what's on screen, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And Liv, how would you describe your character in Susan the Goth Girl?
Well, I think first of all, she's quite a lonely character. She doesn't really have any friends. She doesn't know who she can trust. She's quite sort of isolated. Bless her, she's, with her book in the first scene. But she's also aware that she doesn't want to change for anybody. And she has this sense of purpose when she is a goth. And then she meets Trevor, and he just reaffirms to her the kind of like her self-love, her self-worth, and really gets her to come out of herself and open herself up to the world and be able to stand up to people that have bullied her in the past. So yeah, she kind of has a self-revelation moment where she realizes that, yeah, actually, you know what? I'm gonna screw you. Can I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go for it. Yeah.
Screw you guys. I wanna be me.
Yeah.
And I don't care like that you think that I'm weird or that you think that I'm 6 foot under or whatever under the grave. That is who I am, and that is who I feel the most me being. So yeah.
You go, girl. Awesome. Jason, how would you describe Trevor as an individual?
Trevor is just this very chilled. He's very polite, but he also has this kind of cool edge to him. I think he kind of represents the big guy sticking up for the little guy. Instantly, you get a sense from this guy that he's sensitive. He cares when he sees injustice, and he does something about it. And he's quick to respond to those bullies and those naysayers who are going after Susan, because he knows that it's wrong. So he's got this really good, strong moral compass. And it's nice as well when right at the end you get a little backstory of Trevor, and you find out that there's a deeper reason why he cares so much. He has personal reasons to fight for the little guy. And that's always so compelling as an actor to have a good backstory for the characters that you play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Pop off. Awesome. This one goes out for anyone, the same question. How was production or shoot? Because I know the shoot was only for like a day, I think. How was it like altogether? Were there any ups, downs, turnarounds? Like how was the whole experience in total?
I thought the whole experience was really, really good. It was very professional. The cast and crew did an amazing job. They were all actually were very sticking to their own occupations, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And but I think that what was really down was the part where we had to film the intro scene because technically, like I said at the premiere, that it was a bit where we had to film that scene real quick before somebody finds out, sort of
Yeah.
thing.
I
Yeah.
think, like, for me, it was wearing the wig and all the makeup. I wasn't used to that. And I'm quite a hippie at heart. I'm a bit of a, I'm very girly girl and a very, like, but I was really happy to play a different character that was very out of my comfort zone almost. But yeah, I think the hardest part for me was wearing that wig all day because it was really quite hot that day. And it was itchy, very, very
You
itchy.
do transform very well, Liv. I mean, it's I almost didn't recognize you when you came on the call. Uh, but no, I think you look fantastic in the wig. Maybe you should consider changing your look.
I
Wow.
always thought, I always thought, Liv, at the beginning when you did your audition, we met in person. You were the only one who didn't do the audition tape, and technically, I always thought you're Susan Leone. That's your role. You're definitely going to have to play that role.
I know.
Amazing.
I don't know what made you know that for sure, Elliot, but I think it was because we met in person and I just felt like I had an energy that I could give to Susan, that I also could relate to Susan, as I said in our Q&A after the premiere, that I think we've all felt insecure in our lives in some way, and I felt like that's what Susan was representing, is people that feel insecure in themselves, or they feel they're ostracized by society for whatever reason, that they can become themselves and feel better. And you just need a friend to be on your side to really make that change in your life and give yourself that confidence to move forward. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason
Thank
I
that,
chose you for
Jason.
that role, Liv, because I felt there was a connection with you and Susan. Because the fact is, not just because of what you described, also because you love gothic themes and you love films like The Addams Family and all that kind of stuff. And I thought you'd be really good. And you actually seem to know how to stand up to certain things, like when you have a lot of respect and all that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Even though I'm quite a girly girl and I'm quite differently dressed, I do love the gothic, architecture, and I love all of the gothic kind of things. And I've, throughout my life, I've become friends with, people rockers and punks, but I've been told by my dad that's not the same thing as a goth, and he was very strict on that.
It's not. No,
Not
it's
the
not.
same thing. A
Two
rocker
very
and
different
a
type of
goth are not
people.
the same thing. They're very different musically and they're very
Yeah.
different stylistically and all of this. So
Yeah.
even though they're kind of dark, and I was thinking, oh, like Ozzy Osbourne or something, but apparently that's a rocker. That's not a goth. I learned a lot about the kind of goth world and the characters as well.
Subgenre. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was all ups. It was just a
Wow.
blast filming. We had so much fun. We got everything done. We had fun, but we got it done. And that's always the key thing, is that you finish the day, you go task finished, task completed. But we just had so many laughs. There was definitely more than a handful of takes where I was breaking character because I got on very well with everybody. And the bullies in the film, the two girls who were abusing Susan, for some reason we were just cracking each other up. And you're supposed to be eye to eye and being all intimidating and tough.
Mm.
But they're just the loveliest people, and it was hard to it was hard sometimes to stay in the moment when you're working with such fun and engaging people. Other than that, I think I just recall it being extremely warm, which I'm
Mm.
really starting to miss because it is
Yeah.
bloody freezing right now. So
The sun came out today. I'm
the
very
sun
happy.
finally came out today. Have we broken the rain streak in the
I
UK?
really hope we have.
Oh, thank God.
I'm not
Yeah.
optimistic, I'll be honest.
Weather
It's
was
quite
really
funny
nice.
how we did this gothic, well, not gothic, but about a goth. And really, I guess that rainy weather would have gone quite nicely.
It would
But
have worked well, yeah.
Rudy, yeah.
yeah, but we filmed it at our very hot, sweltering day. But I think actually it was better for the, for the quality of the film to film it on a day with good weather, and definitely better for the cameras and stuff. But yeah, it was very hot that day.
Elliot, what inspired you to want to make such a film? You said it wanted to be a comedy and a drama, and then went into this depth with Jason's character. And obviously, you said that you had personal experience with people like Susan and people like Trevor and stuff like that. So, what inspired you to kind of put it all out there on the big screen?
Well, I actually am a fan of goths myself, and films like The Addams Family, The Craft. This is what maybe inspired me to write a film about a goth. And well, due to experience, I have been experiencing loneliness in my times at school and all that. And I know how it sort of feels like to feel isolated and feel very different when you have certain. But it doesn't have to be specifically about how different you feel. It's also about personal interests and all that. People do pick on you about your personal interests, and it's just what makes you feel like you are very different from society, or whether you prefer to be in your own isolated world. And this is what Susan's been experiencing herself and all that. And like I said, there is always someone out there special to you. It doesn't have to be a lover. It doesn't have to be like a lover. It can be a really nice friend who looks out for you and who accepts you for who you are. And that's what. And there are special people out there for anyone.
I think what I liked about it was actually I felt like Trevor was kind of. I mean, I personally, yes, there could have been a little hint of romance between Susan and Trevor, but I do feel like it was mainly just a friendship, the platonic thing that she needed at that time. She just needed someone to kind of tell her that it's okay. You can be you, and I'll accept you for who you are.
And while I was doing this thing for Goths, I also researched about a girl named Sophie Lancaster who was killed by a bunch of people because she was a Goth. So I can get the idea if it was right, if it was a film, if Goths do get treated like that, and they certainly do. And Goths is another thing why they get picked on really because of their appearance and because of what they do and all that. Goths who are the same as people. Goths have different personalities. They don't have to like punk music or dress the same. They like different things. Like Susan. You may see a book where Susan's reading. It wasn't about rock music. It could be any music. It could be classic music and all that.
Yeah, I don't think it was about, it wasn't a Dracula book, do you know what I mean? I think it was a classical music book. So, it's showing that, we don't have to stereotype goths into this certain realm of society.
Because Goths just have good taste in style. They have good taste in music. They got good taste in anything really. They can like flowers. They can like colourful things. Of course, they can like these things. That's what they are. That's what they like.
I've met a few gothic people. I went to and there was this place near it. It was like an underpass bit that you walk through. Every lunch, go over there, just goths everywhere. They all just sat. I thought it was sick. They all looked like they were having a great time. They were skateboarding and smoking and just chilling, dude. I was like,
Yeah, like your character, Charlie.
One of the main reasons you applied for this film, didn't you?
Yeah, because they looked so sick. And I thought when I saw skateboard guy as a job, I thought I'm going to become the next Tony Hawk.
And I'm glad you applied for this role.
Exactly. I came at it with eagerness and intent.
I'd say you're my favorite character, Charlie. Just your little whiz past in the film, just absolutely nailed it. I love it. It's definitely Skateboard Guy's my favorite.
I agree. I absolutely loved your character.
Thank you.
And like I said, you're the scene stealer of the film, which is what I said at the premiere.
Thanks, Elliot, dude. Elliot's the guy who wrote it, Credit goes to the writer.
You really did steal it.
You did steal it.
And we only needed you for half the day, but you really did steal. It just became alive because of that scene. And I think that's the funniest part of it. And as Elliot said, it's a comedy drama. So we really needed that element of lightness to it, comedy. I think it really uplifted the whole film. I think without that scene, it might have been quite somber, really, and quite serious about someone being bullied who needs to stand up for herself. So I think without that scene, it would have been quite a different film, actually. So I think you really brought
I agree. I think it was just part of the whole. It wasn't just about her being bullied because she could go through that with society, which is what the skateboard guy did. Really, it doesn't have to be just particular people. It could be anyone
Strangers,
outside of college.
It was quite a hard, great face for that scene because they kept panning back to me and like, so you you'd say a line and fall off your skateboard or whatever, and I'd be like,
it was a real challenge to tell someone that I'd just met to go kill herself and bury herself. I'm not gonna lie, and then to proceed and lock in and then skateboard away without falling off.
But
I don't know
also
how Tony Hawk does it.
keep it fun and light somehow, even though you told me to go and kill myself or whatever.
Oh,
It somehow still was very funny.
Glad you enjoyed it at least. I
don't know how you managed to do that, but it was funny.
It was a gift of mine from Tony Hawk, I guess.
I think you have a knack for comedy, and I think I think you should do it again.
Thank you. I mean, what inspired everyone to actually want to be in this film? Elliot, yours is the reason you made this film is to kind of document society in a way from your own experiences and put more of a light, ironically, on goths and stuff like that. And then, so Liv and Jason, what kind of made you want to be in this film? Did you just think it's a good message and go along with it, or like what? How did you come to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think exactly that. It's a good message. It has universal application. I think treat everyone with kindness is so, sort of universally reachable. And there's other layers to that as well. The fact that that Trevor steps up and he's standing up for someone who he doesn't know, but he sees something wrong happening, and so he steps in. And if more people in this world were brave enough to just call out injustice as it was happening, I think we would see a lot less assholes around the place. So yeah, I as you say, Charlie, I think it's just something that if you're going to be part of a story, you want to be part of that picture that is instilling people good messages.
I think, as you say, like Jason, like about the kindness of strangers. I think it's a really important message, because it only takes one encounter to really change somebody and make somebody's day, and ultimately maybe even change their perspective. The reason I did the film is, well, first of all, I know Elliot and he's a great director, and I've been following his work for a while now, and I think he's just very talented, and I see his dedication for what he does. And his flatmate was telling me at the premiere how he's just always on his laptop editing scripts and just putting his all into everything. So I guess that was one of the main reasons I wanted to do it. But I also loved the concept of the film. As Jason says, it touched my heart, that it's the kindness, really. It's a story about kindness and acceptance of who you are. It's sort of a film that everyone can relate to. And I think that's what's so sweet about it in a way. And I think it does have a kind of endearing, sweet quality to the film that a lot of films now go down the route of very dark and getting very, very, heavy very quickly. And that could have been one of these films. It could have been, like Elliot said earlier, he had an inspiration of the goth that kind of got killed, or, it could have been a horror almost, or it could have been a film where it was really dark and actually some really nasty things happened to her. But what I liked about it was that it had this uplifting message to it at the end, even though it had a serious undertone. It had this sort of comedy element. It had this uplifting, hopeful message that I think we need in society more than ever. We need hope. We need hope. So that's why I did it, really. Yeah.
I believe that's the end of my questions. So if anyone wants to plug something, additional information or future projects or anything like that.
Yeah. Well,
Floor is
the
yours.
film, our film, Susan the Goth Girl, is out on the 1st of March. And it will be out on YouTube. I don't know if that will be out at the same time as this.
Yeah, linked in the description.
We'd love you to come watch that. And then Elliot and I are going to do a short film called Reunion, which is about a daughter character and a father who reunite after 20 years. It's a very personal story, but it's also got that uplifting, hopeful message to it as well. And I think it's testament to Elliot, really, but I know I wrote it, but it's testament to Elliot, really, that, you know, I loved Susan the Goth Girl so much that I wanted to write something quite similar that had that hopeful message in it. So yeah, that will be out, I guess. I'm not sure when it will be out because we haven't filmed it yet. We'll be filming that shortly, and that would be amazing if you could follow our journey along on Python Light Studios.
And in September, I'll be going to film school soon. And I'm actually written my first feature film, and I'm actually trying to. But my most passionate project is Harold the Headhunter, and I'm actually writing it right now to actually write into a feature film one day. I also want to do a short film of it, just to give it an introduction for the feature film one day.
We've got a film that's going around festivals at the moment, and with any luck, that'll be appearing at some festivals. And if anyone is a lover of independent films and wants to attend one of these festivals, that'd be really cool. But no announcements yet of when that might be screening. And
What's the name? Are you allowed to say the name?
yeah, it's called Andy. It's something that I directed as well as starred in. I play an automated caregiver. So I'm the live-in carer robot for an elderly woman, and that unfolds a lot of drama, sometimes to comic effect, and sometimes to more thrilling effect.
Wow.
And that is it's about a 35-minute film, and it's going around festivals, and then hopefully later this year we'll see it released for public consumption. If you follow our company Black Elk Productions, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and we have a website as well. So Black Elk, follow us and keep up to date with all of our various filmmaking endeavors.
Black Elk and Python Light. That's been awesome. Oh shit. The meeting is running out of time, so we
I think that's a nice place to wrap things up. What a pleasure. Thank you so much, guys.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I enjoyed
people.
it.
Nice to see you guys again, and lovely working with you all, obviously.
Likewise. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much for joining. Deuces, I guess.
Yeah, it was really good again, Charlie. I'll be writing projects for you. Don't worry, mate. I'll give you acting opportunities because you are the scene stealer of Susan the Goth Girl, as I'm always going to say.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I am always free. So
thank you for having us on your channel as well.
No worries, dude.
Thanks, Charlie.
Minute, so
Thanks,
don't
Charlie.
expect massive stuff. No worries.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.